Okay, perfect. So this is what we have in our participant packets. So I attended a training with IS Inc. Because I was trying to do a supplement to what you guys taught, because I really want to advance to intermediate, advanced, intermediate / advanced. So I took the training and I got thoroughly confused because when they got to the forms section, the instructor said that the way we had set up our participant packets, we would have to delete all of the text boxes. We used the filling out of the form fields, that feature in Adobe, to create these form fields, if that makes sense. And
Yes.
and so what he said was that we should have deleted everything but the first box and then expanded the first box to cover the entire field. So I don't know if that's what CDSS does or not. So I'm kind of hoping
So
to...
yeah, that's what I was going to say too, but also the lines on here cause a problem. So, because for anybody, even not accessibility wise, this is a pain to... It's worse for accessibility, but for anybody, this is a pain if you're typing. Alright, finish typing. You have to notice that, like, especially if you're, typing quick, you have to notice that you're out of lines or out of space. It's gonna start getting smaller and smaller.
Got it. Okay.
And then you have to go to the next line to continue typing. So you do really want that to be all one field. But the lines, so if we go to prepare form, I think that there's a way. We've done this before because now, let's see, we go here.
So you go to properties and then you would just say it's on one of them that says multi-line.
Yep,
right
and
there.
And we'll undo that scroll long text too. Okay. So, but now the problem is when you start typing, it doesn't line up perfectly. So now you have the line going through your text.
Okay.
Some are
So
worse than others, but that's also a problem. So the best thing to do would just be to get rid of these lines if you can.
and just have a big text. How would that look?
Just put, you could even, I think you might, let's see, get rid of them in here. Yeah, you could get rid of them right here if you wanted to.
Okay.
Edit PDF and just click on them and delete them.
Okay, and so that would, and then to make it accessible, you don't have to delete them all. I get,
there you go.
Okay.
I get it right there. So to make it accessible, like you say, you've got your heading, you go to tags up at the top. So you have to do two things to make it accessible. You have to tag your fields, and then you have to do the tooltips. So to tag them, the best way is to go to tags up at the top of your tag tree.
Okay.
Go to find.
Okay.
And then unmarked link, or unmarked annotations, sorry. Unmarked annotations.
Okay.
And then find, and it's going to start finding them. Right now we're just on the search page, so it's only going to find this one. But you find it in tag element, and then you make it a form. And now if you want to, you can give it a name. You don't have to, the title.
Okay.
That is purely for you. So if you want to, page 1, 2, whatever, page 1 questions, whatever, it's not going to be read for the screen reader, it's not going to be visible, it's just for you.
Okay.
And then you say, okay, and it's going to put that field that you tagged at the bottom of your tag tree.
Okay. So then you have to move it back.
That's why sometimes people like to give it the name so that they know which one it is. And then you're going to move it to wherever it belongs. So it'll go heading, form.
Okay.
And then all this can go.
So it's not, because it's not a table. So you would have to delete that as a table.
Yep, and I'm not sure all this blank line. Yeah, you're going to delete all that, archive, all that stuff too.
All of it. And, okay, so then that'll work. And then you said you have to put in, there was something that you just said.
Tooltips. So you're going to go into your prepare form. And the idea of the tooltip, while you may not be, and you're going to do that same thing for these ones to make those one line. But you may not be, you probably will have some, what we say, exit forms mode. So basically, if somebody using a screen reader is interacting with the form, the easiest, most efficient way to go through that form is to hit tab. And you go from field to field to field. And you hear what's called the tooltip. So the tooltip needs to tell you what to enter. So like this one's easy. It's just going to be questions to ask the county. That's right.
Right.
And then you have to look and think these shouldn't be fields. Those are extras, right?
Right.
So you're going to go from here. The next tab is going to be to this box. So you're going to miss this text. So now you have the choice on this one to say questions to ask my county. And then you can either say, then exit forms mode is what we usually say. Some people say enter browse mode. It means the same thing. I usually just say exit forms mode. Exit forms mode. So now the user hears, oh, I'm going to miss text if I tab to the next field. But for like this one, let's say I just say questions ask my county and I leave it at that. Then I get to this one. I'm not missing that much text. It's just program integrity training, right?
Well, and
so I can add that into this one.
So would the screen reader, though, if it didn't have these fields, would the screen reader pick up those pictures, or would we have to do an alt text for every single one of these PowerPoint slides?
So you're going to have to tag most of these PowerPoint slides with text. Is it just those three, or does it go on?
Oh, no, there's on average, it's about 50 slides per module.
So if you have another way of exporting, that would be what I would do. I would export it and I know we've definitely had this problem before, because you're going to go in and have to tag most of those.
As artifacts, pictures.
As text, so you're going to...
So everything that because this is just for their reference, they're actually going to get this information from an instructor. This is just their copy of it. But what I'm hearing you say is, because the instructor won't be available 24/7 when they're reviewing this, we're going to have to pretty much do alt text for every single slide and write out what's on that slide.
Yeah, so I wouldn't even do the alt text. I would just tag it with the reading order tool is what I would do. Right, so this will be your heading to... do I have everything? Tagging, I think they're artifacted right now. But yeah, I would tag each little line all the way through. Tag your actual text instead of making it an image. But what I would really do is go into the PowerPoint. A minute since I've done this, so where... How did people do this? I don't remember how people did this, I'm not gonna lie. But there's save options, maybe. There's a way. What I would do is I would, instead of having that, exporting it as that note slide, I would export it as an actual PDF document, because then it'll be tagged. And there is a way somewhere, I just don't know right off the bat where it is. So I've seen it done before. To have them be smaller. So instead of it maybe being 3 slides, what you can do on your PDF is you can have the slide be right here, and then you can have a blank spot, and you can put your form field right there. And then you can have your slide here, blank spot. So instead of 3, you might fit 2, because you'll have spaces for your form fields. And you'll just insert those form fields, prepare form. Like, instead of having these lines here,
Mm-hmm.
you can just put a text box here for notes, right?
Right. Okay. And
I'll
then
just stick it in there. That's going to probably be the easiest, but I'm sorry, I don't know how they do that, but I know it is possible. I've seen it.
okay, so I'll try to figure that piece out now. And then but they would still have to go. You would still have to, in the tooltip, go exit form mode.
Yes, if you can't put that text into your, so like this is a lot of text from here to here, you're going to put, or from here to this field, you're going to put an exit forms mode here, because you're not going to put all that text into your tooltip. But from here to here, you might just be able to put program integrity training notes slide 1 or something like that.
Okay, so if I'm able to figure out how to export it as a PDF with only 2 slides on it, I would not have to write exit form field, because the screen reader would read the slide, and then the screen reader would automatically tell the listener that it's a form
No,
field.
you're still going to, because if you're using a form at all, if you're using a form at all, you're usually tabbing. So if I'm tabbing from here to here, I'm missing this text unless I'm notified that I need to. So the exit forms mode is for once it's actually tagged, because now it's not even tagged. So if I were to exit forms mode, I wouldn't get anything. But yeah, so once it's actually tagged. So it's anytime you tab from one field to the next field and you miss information.
Okay. And that will happen in either case, whether I figure out how to do the PDF slides, or
Yes.
in this case, after every form field, I have to put exit form mode. And then I don't have to signify to enter in.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to signify to enter in, just the exit, and then
Yeah, so here's a perfect example of it. So there's text, right? Well, I mean, obviously I didn't make this accessible yet. This is still kind of the rough draft area. So I would have to make this accessible, but then the screen reader will pick up, E, all of the above, answer, and then there's a form field. And then all I would do for that answer would be to do the tooltip, enter your answer, exit form mode, and then it would continue, right?
Yes, you could do that. I would recommend to do it something like this. Put your fields here. That would probably be the best way, instead of listening and then going to your answer. I would probably have your fields right here.
What do you mean?
Let's see here. But honestly, I'd make these radio button. It's on group. I think these all have. I haven't made these in a while. Okay, I'm gonna make 3. Okay, so they're all group 2, right? Group 2. Okay, perfect. So choice 1, 2, and 3. Okay, so I would make them a radio button, and then your tooltip is going to be the question. What is the role of SW? And then your options are going to be your answers. A, be client focused. Equals B, ensure the recipient understands. And then C.
So it's all one group. Okay, I get that.
Yeah, so it's all one group, and then you can go, and then also it'll make it easier for everybody, because once you have that, you can only choose, and you can change how that looks, whatever, but right. You can only choose one. So if I choose A, if I go to C, it's only going to choose, it's going to unchoose A. So they're all connected.
Okay, so then I wouldn't have to tag, the question and the answers, because really you just did that.
You still tag it, so everything still has to be tagged. It's kind of doubled, but what you would listen to is the tooltip for the most part, but everything still would be tagged.
Okay, so we would still have to put it as, a paragraph and then a list.
Yes.
Okay. And then what would the answer be? You're saying don't even have the answer.
I would say don't even have that part, yeah.
Okay. And then
your tags would look like this. Here, let me tag those real quick for you. Search document.
Sorry.
That's okay. I should have gone to that page and I didn't. It's gonna go through all these ones.
Hope you just.
It goes. There we go. Okay. Tag. That's a form. Tag. That's a form. Tag. That's a form. Okay. So now those are my 3 form builds. So I have my text. Right, I'm gonna just tag these real quick. Put my text here. We're gonna tag. There we go. Okay, there's my tags, and then I have each of my items. So I should have made the tags real quick. So 1, 2, and 3. Oops. Two.
But you're making them paragraph. You're not making it a list.
I'm going to make it a list. I just did that quickly.
Oh, okay. I was like, if I can get away from doing a list, that'd be great.
I'm making a list right now. I just am going to make it a fast list.
Okay.
I should have made them L bodies, but I was not thinking. Going too fast here. It's too early still.
It is.
So there is a list. So your form fields go in the same visual order the same order that they are visually. So here our field comes before our text. So our form is going to go before the container. So that's still part of the L body. It'll be form and then client focused.
Wow. Okay.
It'll look like that.
Okay, thank you.
Huh?
Okay, so then what about that furthest right column where you have when blank and blank?
So that one will look like paragraph. I'm going to take it back to where was it? There we go. Okay. Alright, so it's going to be, so you're going to highlight, you don't necessarily need the lines, but you're going to highlight just the one word, like whatever's splitting it up.
Uh-huh.
And create tag from selection. That's how I usually do it. I'm going to get rid of this. Oh, my mouse jumped. Okay, so now we have when blank when. So now when we tag those form fields, find unmarked annotation. Tag that one. So now those ones are gonna go. When did I just make that here? Those are gonna go in between. So it's still that same visual order. So it's container, form, container, form, and they're inside that all that one p tag.
Okay, but do you have to... Oh, okay, so you did create the form field,
Yep.
but do I have to do a tooltip that tells them...
So if you do this, so I'm guessing it goes this way. If you do this question the same as this, you're not missing any information. So you're gonna, your question is the tooltip, so what makes good documentation, and then your options are the answers, right? And then we get to this next one. So your tooltip here would probably be, when might it be more appropriate to follow up with more in-depth conversations? When blank happens, and blank happens, or something like that. So your tooltips will still be more or less the question, and then what to answer there.
And then the options. So the tooltip would be the question. The options would be enter. What would we say? So, the options would be.
So this one you won't have the options because it's not the options is just for your radio buttons where you only can choose one thing. This is like a type in field, right?
Right.
So the name, I mean, you can change the names. They're going to be automatic. They don't really matter that much. I don't really focus on them very much. But your tooltip will be, when might it be appropriate? Obviously, the rest of that sentence. I don't know, whatever you're supposed to answer, choice one, or enter option one, enter choice one. I don't know how you want to word that, but enter choice one, word, enter choice one. Because there's obviously two choices of choose time, or enter time one, or enter occurrence one, whatever you want to say. And then enter choice two. Enter time. Okay. So now we're not doing that exit forms mode over here because we're not missing any information.
Okay.
But if I go here, all this, I'm not really missing information. I go here, these are the same radio buttons, right? They have the question. But once I'm done, I'm tabbing to here. And now I'm missing all this directions information. So this one I'll probably have an exit forms mode on.
Okay.
Okay, does that make sense?
That does make sense.
Okay. Perfect.
And then
yeah, same thing here. You're gonna make that one the one box and make it multi-line.
Okay, I think I got it. This is way more complicated than.
So we have our book online, I believe. Pretty sure.
I think I printed. Yeah,
we have the training. Let's see. Do we have a booklet? Maybe I'm lying.
No. We probably do because I printed out all of the user manuals. I have a big binder for it.
Okay.
But I do know that when the forms training video that you have online, it is truly a form. It is a state form. Enter address here. Enter whatever here. It didn't go into depth about how to incorporate a fillable PDF. And so that's why I was like, well, I don't know how to go between like paragraphs to form and back.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that'll hopefully that gets you started at least, and then I said I would definitely somehow figure out how to convert it without just the. I know there's a way. That's gonna bug me now because I've seen it done.
I can try to figure out, but if you figure it out, if you have an epiphany and you remember how, then if you could just share that with me, because I won't get to it today, but
okay, yeah, I will let you know if I find something, because we don't.
Yeah, because I know that it's important for our participants to have the PowerPoint, and this is how it's been done in years past. So I didn't know that they weren't accessible. Well, actually, let me put that back. We never had fillable fields. This is the first fiscal year, that we're putting fillable fields, because we've been asked multiple times to make the packet fillable. And so that is why we're now doing this. I'm not sure how, I don't even know if the documents were accessible before. I would assume they would have been, but I don't know how they were coded. So they do state that they are accessible, but I didn't actually go in to figure out how they were accessible. So.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So yeah, if I find something, I'll look at a couple old things and see if I remember how they did it. But yeah, definitely converting it as a PowerPoint to a PDF instead of, I know with the notes you do print, right? And that blows out all your tags. So you're going to have to tag every little bit, which is going to be time consuming.
Yeah.
But I'm almost positive that there's a way to export it that way instead of printing it.
Okay. So what about?
Okay.
Yeah, that works. I will try to figure it out as well myself next week.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.